Good morning and a very happy Flex Friday. Today, we're actually coming at you live from the headquarters of X Endurance. And in case you're wondering, we are currently in, what should we call it? Like the research and development room?
This is like an office where the magic happens.
Yeah. So, yeah, we figured we're in Arizona. We're the headquarters for X Endurance, for anybody who's taking the X Endurance products. We're staying pretty close to them. So today we're actually gonna be spending a little bit of time here. So we figured, why not do espresso here? Good morning, everybody. Veronica, Laura, Tamara, Ashley, Coach Jess, Helena, Heidi.
Is it Helena or Helena? It's a good question.
So you guys, since we are in the X Endurance building, I guess drop a Y if you are taking X Endurance products, and an N if you're not.
Give me the other one.
This one?
Yeah, that one.
And drop an N if you're not taking X Endurance products.
So the title of this is, Does Coffee Affect Metabolism?
Yeah.
And this, my friends, I mean, okay, preference, like if you haven't taken this or used this, it is a creamer, and it is their newest product to date. And I freaking love it. So if you are a fan of the creamers, put I'll cream ya.
I'll cream you.
In the comments. All right. Yes, so X Endurance is a company that we've been affiliated with for a very long time. I started working for them in 2015, and just have loved their products, love their integrity, love the team, and everybody. So, and love that they continue to innovate and create products that are superior typically to what the majority of other companies will sell. And there's exciting things coming in the near future, but I don't know how much we're allowed to share. So anyways.
So listen, today's Q&A day. We're going to be taking your questions that are dropped in the form. However, I think for the sake of alignment, considering that we are in the X Endurance headquarters, why don't we take like 1 to 2 questions from the form, and then would love to hear from you guys. If you have any questions with regards to any of the products, would love to educate on it. If not, we did bring from their display quite a bit of products that we can educate on as well, in the case that we run short on that. So yeah, timing and relevancy is key. By the way, we are in Arizona. And in case you're wondering, it is equally as hot as Miami.
Different kind of hot.
No humidity, which is nice.
Minus the swamp ass.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to take a couple questions.
Yeah.
If you have questions, Danny, can you drop the link where they can submit those questions at any point in time? If you have any questions about fitness, nutrition, lifestyle habits in relation to your weight loss goals, or anything just about us, or our daily routines, or how we live, or supplements, or anything like that, you can just fill out the form with your questions, and this is where we pull these from. So if you have any questions and you're with us live, drop them in the comments and we will see about getting to those. But the first question that we have here, and why we titled this the way that we did, is a question from Alicia, and she asked, how does caffeine affect How does coffee affect vital functions such as metabolism, digestion, sleep, and hydration? Is it beneficial, or at least remotely, I can't read, relatively harmless, or would it be better avoided? I ditched creamer and trained myself to enjoy black coffee, but I have to have it every day or not at all to avoid withdrawal headache? Thanks. Do you ever get a withdrawal headache if you don't have coffee?
No, I just highly enjoy it, and I would prefer to live my life with it every day.
Yeah, I never get withdrawal headaches either from coffee. So I wonder if that's
Psychological thing?
maybe psychological because that's what people have heard, or also a result of other dietary or lifestyle choices.
Or just overall caffeine intake. Like,
True.
what is the amount of caffeine that somebody's having? For any coffee drinkers in the house, go ahead and drop a C. So yeah, let's talk about it. I mean, this is a pretty broad question because there are so many ways to make coffee nowadays. Exhibit A is Starbucks. I mean, they've taken, when the company started like 30 years ago, the founder of it, Howard Schultz, wanted to bring in a different atmosphere to how coffee was consumed in the US. And it literally just started with, just their pike roast, which, is black coffee and, could add cream and sugar to it. But like nowadays, if you just look at the Starbucks menu, I'm not even talking about your local mom and pop shop, or any of the other brands, or just whatever is out there in the market. Like, there are literally hundreds of ways where you can make coffee. And the reason why I say that this is a broad question is because it all depends on what's being added to the coffee. The reason I share this, Alicia, is because, I also want to cater to the audience listening. However, I do remember you said specifically that you drink black coffee. So look, you guys, black coffee in and of its nature, coffee beans actually have more antioxidants than tea. Coffee does get a bad rap, and the reason my perception of that is because most people who drink coffee drink it in a very dirty way. Now, what do I mean in a very dirty way? They put a lot of additives that just, take a liquid that actually has a lot of antioxidants and is, good for you, quote unquote, and, just put high fructose corn syrup, artificial sweeteners that literally just jack up our system. So, if you take black coffee for what it is, basically you're drinking water with antioxidants, there's no harmful benefits. However,
Harmful benefits.
Harmful side effects. However, do take into consideration the fact that coffee comes with caffeine. So, you depending on what your caffeine tolerance is for your central nervous system, how much caffeine you'll be able to tolerate will depend from one person to the next. Also keep in mind that, just with the variety of drinks that's out there, most people, whether it's knowingly or unknowingly, just consume way too much caffeine because most people do not drink water. They drink a lot of soda. Most of the soda products out there, have caffeine in it. And in the morning, most people start their day by adding a lot of shit to their coffees, like the frappuccinos and the lattes and all of that. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't ways where we can clean it up. It's just because most people are just so uneducated about nutrition overall that so many empty calories and sugars in the most processed form come from liquids. And I think that is why coffee gets a bad representation, because most people just don't know how to consume solids and liquids, so they make poor choices in general. And of course, when you're basically drinking a liquid dessert that's loaded with, caffeine, will it have negative implications? Absolutely.
But is it the coffee?
Right. But is it the coffee, right? It's very different to just drink black coffee or straight up espresso that comes from a bean than it is to drink a frappuccino. Or, I know that we're just about to head into pumpkin spice season. So pumpkin spice, it started with Starbucks' pumpkin spice latte, But now there's like, we literally turned it into a season. Like there's a whole like massive market with sub markets in it just because of that like one idea that came from high fructose corn syrup and a little bit of spice.
Okay, so now you're going way on a tangent. And you know what I love about this show?
What?
Thank you. You get answers from two different perspectives because that's a fantastic answer. And in my mind, I'm thinking through some other things that will maybe be beneficial to you, because I'm thinking about how, yes, like our people could, like, we consider, like, should I stop drinking coffee? Like, well, like, where and why did we hear it? And if I read back through this question, one of the first things that I think about, okay, how does coffee affect vital functions, metabolism, digestion, sleep, hydration? Okay, to touch on the hydration, any caffeine is going to be a diuretics, right? So you do want to also have water. But aside from that, like sleep, okay, it's just the caffeine. So coffee is not necessarily caffeine. There is decaffeinated coffee. So are we talking about coffee? Are we talking about caffeine? So the other thing, which is, I think why Sarit touched on the added things to coffee, is because the mention in this question of I ditched creamer and trained myself to like black coffee. Why would that have been mentioned if we're not considering that something else added to the coffee would be the culprit that we're thinking may affect metabolism, digestion, sleep, hydration? Mm-hmm. So I thought about something. You know how anything times 0 is 0?
Yeah.
Anything plus added processed sugar is cancer.
Or shit.
Garbage.
Yeah.
It's like you can expect it to have negative implications, period. Now, that doesn't mean that, like, oh my God, I should never consume it again. Like, there's a lot of articles about there about how absolutely terrible processed sugar is. And yes, it is added to an assload of coffee drinks. I would say like 95% of the coffee consumed is consumed with some kind of processed sugar. The coffee is, the bean is never the issue. It's the way you prepare it. Anyways, okay, so but what I'm saying is you can have decaffeinated coffee, you can have caffeinated coffee. Mm-hmm. It's not the coffee, it's the things that are added to it. And it's also like what is the goal in what you're trying to achieve by eliminating coffee or eliminating what you add to your coffee? Is it fat loss? Is it more energy? Is it better sleep? Is it like what is the mission of it? In all things considered, then you can determine whether or not, like, okay, and let's talk about what we put in our coffee because it is awesome. Besides this, okay, we are actually traveling. We stopped by X Endurance and we bought one of these. And we have it in our hotel room. And we have been doing one stevia, which is a sweetener from a plant. One stevia, and I've been doing like a half a scoop of this. Mm-hmm. And then I will put in one normal, like, little half and half creamer cup to change the color. So there's no like, it's a very low calorie, very low sugar, low anything garbage, and it's actually adding in quality ingredients that are going to be helpful to these functions. So there are ways to make coffee taste really great. Almond milk is another great thing that we add in regularly.
We really like the super creamer.
Oh, the super creamer. That's right. Super creamer is great.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's ways to like make your coffee feel like you said, I remember you're like, it tastes too good to feel like I can be having it so often, right? The creamer.
Yeah.
But it's really great. Like, it's so good, and I feel like there's so many positive benefits to it.
Yeah, if you're a coffee person, definitely try it out. So What are some benefits of what this has? So it's got coconut powder and MCT oil that helps to improve brain functioning. And then adaptogens just really help with, mental health in general, or just, cognitive functioning, like basically how you respond to stress, and, boost your ability to focus and that sort of thing. So, I mean, look, really just like everything else, whether it's coffee, whether it's a protein bar, whether it's everything, just look at the facts, right? Like, what is it made out of?
You know what I'm going to do too? Shopxnd.com, Erin A. And then if you use a code, if you haven't ordered any X Endurance before and you want to try it, I just put in my link here in the discount code. If you type in Erin15 with a capital E at checkout, you can get 15% off your first order. So if it's something you want to try or anything that you want to look into, that's a good place to go.
Yeah, real quick, let's talk about sleep. Look, caffeine in general is a stimulant. Okay. And I'm sure the half-life of every caffeinated drink is different. However, assume 4 hours. So, give yourself a cutoff time so that the caffeine can be out of your system before you go to bed. For example, if you use a caffeinated drink to stimulate you before working out or something, and let's say you work out in the evening, that could affect your sleep. Now, sugary coffees, of course, anything with sugar is going to jack up your sleep. This is, something that we've talked about time and time again. So it really all comes down to what are you putting in it? And beyond that, caffeine, does it have, coffee in and of itself, does it have negative implications? No, of course. If just like any substance in life, if you are consuming it to a point where it is now negatively affecting your life, then yeah, it could, right? So I don't think that that's the case with you, but these are just things to consider.
I saw a question in the comments that goes kind of along the same lines, but it's a good question, and I can't find it now because it's up too high. It won't let us see it. But it was something about what are our thoughts on like the sugar-free energy drinks instead of coffee? I think it was sugar-free. I don't know exactly what that question was. I just glanced at it. But energy drinks, any energy drink that has more than 20 calories in it is absolute garbage. Any energy drink that is a sugar-free and big name brand like Rockstar, Red Bull, Monster, any of those. There's another bigger name, Zenergy. I think that's one of them. It's a big UFC one, but most of those have sucralose or aspartame, and it's
artificial colorings. It's so
bang.
It's bang.
They taste so good, you guys, and I'm telling you, I used to have 2 a day. I used to have 2 of that shit every single day, and it's fun for me. Yeah. I love the carbonation. I love the flavors. It felt like, and you know what? A little known secret, when I was struggling with my disordered eating, I would drink one of those when I was hungry, so it would like hold me over a little bit longer, so I wouldn't eat.
Because it tasted good.
Yeah.
The cotton candy one.
Yeah. This was years ago, but
it's absolutely garbage for you, and for any drinks like the Bang also now is like, like some of the health claims they make is with CoQ10 or like creatine. Well, for one, if you keep creatine in a freaking liquid, then you can expect the absorbability of it to be absolutely zero.
And if it's paired with caffeine, the effects of it are literally going to be zero.
Yeah. So,
that's also why we take our creatine at night away from coffee. If you've been taking it in the morning with your coffee, don't freak out. It's not the end of the world. But we just take it at night because there's no caffeine mix anywhere in there. It just makes it more effective, more absorbable.
Yeah.
More absorbable.
Yeah. Energy drinks, for the most part, are...
Zevia as an
Garbage.
energy drink is good.
But it's not really an energy drink. It's like
Zevia has caffeinated ones.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh,
They
I
do.
didn't know that.
It's made with stevia. So any energy drink that you find that is a low calorie, because it's, in my opinion, 99% of the time stupid to drink calories because it doesn't really fill you up as much, unless a smoothie, because a smoothie's like in between a drink and a like solid food. But you know, if it's like if it's a soda, if it's a juice, if it's something like that, way better to just eat those and get all of the like fiber from that stuff. But if it's a caffeinated energy drink that is sweetened with stevia, you're usually pretty good on that.
Yeah.
So.
And with the fitness culture, the way that it's been happening, and it's only going to keep on growing more and more because most people are just uneducated, is, you know, like, I believe the way that I see it is that energy drinks are like the gym goer's soda. It is very acceptable in the gym going community. So therefore, you will expect to see only more and more energy drink brands come out. There will be more stuff, and you know, the more demand there is to something, the higher there's going to be the competition. So, you know, I'm sure that soon enough you're going to see like energy drinks that are like even better for you, right? Like a kombucha energy. Hey, if you see that like next year, don't say I didn't tell you that's going to happen.
I said I could make keto bread and people would buy it, and then like a month later we saw keto bread in the store.
So, you know, just like most energy drinks are absolutely garbage for you. Just take a look at the ingredients so that you can really do your homework and see, okay, like what goes in there, because with that there will also be probably an era of better for you energy drinks. I mean, that's what the focus kind of is. It is a better for you, like,
and it has more than just it has more than just caffeine too. It's like brain fog clearing.
Yeah. I know a lot of you guys really enjoy the focus. Erin drinks it like every day with her workout. I don't. But, yeah.
All right. Next question from Tracy. Thanks for your questions. Hello. I would like to know, this is a great question. I would like to know some better than condiments I can use for butter and other various ketchup, mustard, etc. Or better yet, what do you use for the better than condiments? This is a wonderful question.
Really good. Okay, so blanket statement: for increased performance, use condiments less often. It's because most condiments are just...
Well, hold on. There's a lot of really good condiments.
There is, but just in general, like if there is a reliance of condiment consumption with food, then let's talk about that first.
Okay, now hold on. Are we talking about hot sauce? That would be a condiment, no? Wouldn't that be a condiment? Isn't a condiment something?
Condiment,
the more we say condiment
is like things that you put like in sandwiches and like burgers. So, right, I feel like...
I'm going to look up
What's the definition of a condiment?
Condom and... Oops.
A substance such as salt or ketchup. What?
That is used to flavor food. That is used to flavor food. That is used to flavor food.
I do not like that definition.
Well,
that
it's not your choice.
Because
it's not your choice.
If you put spices,
it's not your choice.
Hold on real quick. If you put spices in the same category as mayo, we've got issues, guys.
Why?
Spices are spices.
Okay, shoes are shoes, but track shoes have fucking spikes on them. It's very different.
I do not consider spices to be condiments. Spices came before condiments. Spices are used to make condiments.
Are we going to make our own definition then?
There's gotta be another definition.
What are the 7 condiments? Nutella.
See, You guys, that's what I mean.
Used to flavor food. Okay, a condiment is a preparation that is added to food, typically after cooking.
Okay.
Maybe Sarit can get on board, to impart a specific flavor, to enhance the flavor, or to complement the dish. So like hummus could be a condiment. It depends on how you're using it. It could be a dip, it could be a condiment. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, more specifically, a condiment that is served separately from the food and is added to taste by the dinner.
So,
all right, anyways,
I believe,
what do we use to flavor our food?
I believe
besides spices.
That spices, like this is big blanket statement. I believe that spices are a better way to add flavor to food than condiments. And this is something that Erin and I have discussed time and time again. I think that America is the greatest country on earth. However, I almost feel sorry for every American child who was born in a home where spices are not being used. In the American culture, I believe from what I've seen and from the clients that I've worked with, that like the use of spices is such a rare thing. In America, there's very heavy reliance on adding flavor to food through condiments rather than spices. And in most places in the world, like the Far East, the Middle East, South America, flavor is being added to food through spices. So the reason I share this is because if you are currently making your food taste better by heavily relying on condiments, that's just, again, big general blanket statement, then I think that there is a better way. And that way is called, let's start experimenting with spices so that there, will not need to be, a heavy reliance on condiments. Why do I share this? Is because I've seen that in this country, like people eat ranch and ketchup like it's water. And I think that it's almost pretty gross. Like I've seen people dip their food in ranch dressing. Like what's the point? It's so unnecessary. But again, like
the only way they'll eat broccoli, baby.
Right, but it's like it is such a poor habit to develop. So my point for sharing this, and I don't know if this is you, Tracy, I'm simply saying it to increase awareness because we cannot change what we're not aware of. So, for one, like monitor what is your condiment consumption like. Okay, because if there is a heavy reliance on condiment consumption in the sense that you're basically using it to enhance every meal, then we need to start there. We need to start with, okay, how can we make our food start to taste better or have more flavor so that we're not relying on condiments? Because most of the condiments out there are absolute garbage.
What if it's mustard?
Mustard is actually totally fine.
What if you wanted to use mustard every single meal?
You could.
Okay, so let's go over this because there are some exceptions. I would also say hot sauce. There's hot sauces that would be totally fine if you wanted to use them, right?
Totally, but like how much hot sauce do you use?
Okay,
for
hold
what
on.
it is?
You had your turn.
Okay.
So,
Steph Dorwart, I'm glad you're beyond that too, girlfriend.
Okay, so let's talk about like the typical. Most of us are in America, if not, use the similar condiments. Okay, so ketchup, mustard, hot sauce, barbecue sauce, things like ranch dressing or dressings, salad dressings used not for salad, I would say, would be considered a condiment at that point. And yeah, okay, so let's talk about it because I think that I love to use, I really like eating turkey burgers. And I like to use ketchup. I think ketchup is the condiment, I would say, that we use the most that would be considered not a healthy food. However, if you think about it, ketchup is made of tomatoes primarily, right? So it is vegetable heavy. However,
Sure.
the majority of vegetables or the majority of ketchups are absolute garbage because they add a lot of processed sugar and other things that are unnecessary. So like I want to speak mostly into ketchup. Mayo, absolute garbage. Miracle Whip, also garbage.
What is that even made out of?
There is no nutritional purpose that either of those serve. It's like the lard of soda. It's like,
Fair.
right?
Fair.
Like soda has absolutely no nutritional value. Mayo and Miracle Whip or anything similar have no nutritional value. And will just fuck with your hormones and your metabolism and all of that. Okay, but ketchup, you could get ketchup. What you want to look for in condiments, like Sarit talked about, is high fructose corn syrup. If it has that, ultimately I would just say don't.
Right.
No, there are better versions. And even if you still have some in your fridge, I would still say don't. Because I would consider the $2 that it costs you for that are not worth you finishing it just because you have it when you can buy a new one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? If it's something that's like, extremely expensive or something, like, okay. But look, your health is more than any amount of money that you'll spend on anything.
Yeah.
Because if you're not here, what is the point of a financial resource anyways? So I would say if there's high fructose corn syrup in it,
Trash it.
done.
Trash it.
It's so not worth it. But there are great ketchups that are like organic ketchups that don't have high fructose corn syrup. The ingredient list is a bit shorter. You can see there's vegetables, there's spices, and it's great. Now, again, with the like everyday, I wouldn't consume, because it does have a higher amount of calories per. If we're talking about like the ketchup, mustard, hot sauce, those kind of condiments. Mayo and Miracle Whip, I just put like they're gone, they're out.
So let's do real quick a better than option for mayo or Miracle Whip. So you can either do avocado mayo or just, I would say, like, you can just spread up some avocado.
You can actually make avocado mayo out of avocado oil and is it just avocado oil and something else? There's like 2 or 3 ingredients you can make. Mustard, a little bit of mustard, and something else. I've made it before. You can make your own avocado mayo, and then you feel good about it. It's literally just like avocado oil and
Did you do
a couple
that for
more
your
ingredients.
egg salad or something?
No, I used to make it for something else. I don't remember. But yeah, so like for those who like sandwiches and things like that, would be much better. You can buy it also. There are healthier versions. Primal Kitchen, for example, has healthier versions of...
Their stuff is normally good. I think they have a lot of stuff now, so I don't know what all they have, but Primal Kitchen definitely has better than Condiments for sure.
Primal Kitchen will be like green yellow. They have really decent ingredients in there. But again, just take a look at too, like, I hate to talk calories because I feel like I just hate saying calories because it's such a freaking like
misused
it's just
value.
It too much value is placed on calories, but for the purpose of like most of y'all have some kind of body goal or weight loss or fat loss goal, and so I would consider like how much energy in the form of calories am I consuming from my condiments alone, because if it's a high amount, then you're probably either overeating and it will stall your weight loss, or you are keeping track of it but then find maybe you're a little bit hungry because you're not, like, if you're sticking to kind of where you're at, it's not you're not going to be getting as much food. So something just to consider there. But all in all, you instead of butter, what can you use instead of butter? I mean, butter's not actually terrible if you're using a quality butter like a Kerrygold.
Again,
again, you can-
I think it comes down to the habit. Like honestly, you guys, only in the United States do like people cook with butter.
It's true.
It is so unnecessary.
I don't know if that's true.
It's very much. I mean, maybe in Canada or Australia. I've never been to Australia, so I think. But look, I'm telling you that like in most of the world, they don't even cook with butter. It is a very much like a Western civilization type thing. You can cook anything that you want without adding butter to it. Like I think it's like when you go to steakhouses here, like
Everything.
it like the fact that they add butter to steak, I'm like, why? Like it's just it is so unnecessary. But it's a habitual thing. So, if you know that you add butter to a lot of things, I would encourage you to just let's maybe like begin by cutting our butter consumption down a little bit. Because the truth is, from a big picture standpoint, is that it's not necessary. And there is a better way. However, look, a lot of our like nutritional habits have been brought down to us by this
Whoever raised us.
just by the culture that we live in and whoever raised us, right? And I think that it is very much like like
You can also just use avocado spray.
yeah.
Avocado spray. It's magic. All right. Let's go to another question.
Do you guys want us to talk a little bit about some of these products, or should we just continue doing Q&A?
Well, in their answer, this is a quick answer.
Okay.
Michelle asks, this is such a valuable experience. How come there isn't really any men that listen to things like the TKC or sign up for the Raw transformation? Michelle, that is a great question. And I will say it's probably... Okay, so I cannot answer for men, but I can say what reasons have contributed to why there are a greater number of women here than men. For one, we are women, so we attract more women. Okay, so that's
You attract what you are.
so that's one. And also we speak our messaging, what we talk about really hits home for female more so than a man, because in general the struggles with diet and nutrition and exercise and all of that, this is not a 100% only women thing. However, in general, more females struggle with the things that we talk about, that we had struggled with, and so it's very relatable. Another reason is probably because when men do come around, they see that there's a shit ton of women in here, and they're probably like, oh, they just make an assumption that it's for all women. Another thing is also our advertisements are marketed to women. Now, with that being said, that doesn't mean that eventually men will jump in. We just wanted to make sure the people we could really speak to the most and understand. I'm not a dude. I don't understand, a lot of the differences from their perspective.
You haven't lived your life as a dude.
Right. So
nor are you married to a dude.
Hold on. So from their perspective, there's not as much relatability that we have because we just don't know. Right? So I would say that's several reasons. Guys, genetically speaking, this is not a debatable topic whatsoever, hormonally are balanced to have more muscle and to lose fat easier. So typically their struggle with weight isn't as
daunting.
Yeah, and it's not as difficult for them typically, and it's also not as prevalent.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Dear God, it exists. And there are a lot of people that would definitely want help. But usually they go to guys that look ripped and they're like, dude, I want to look like you. You know, usually we gravitate towards the people who look like we would desire to look, that we're attracted to, that we feel an energy towards. And so, you know, it's a pretty good contributor.
Yeah.
But dudes are totally welcome.
Yeah. I mean, I think we have a couple of dudes in the community and we love them.
Yeah. We've coached a good number of guys. Usually it's more one-on-one.
Yeah. Yeah. What did they say? More down. Products. Okay, let's talk about products.
They're probably intimidated.
That's true too. Let's be honest. Okay, so we started this conversation with talking about our metabolism. So we just grabbed from the front, from the display, some products that do have either a direct or indirect impact on the metabolism, on our metabolism. So I guess let's just kind of like touch up on those, basically the name of it, the benefit of it, and...
Wow, look at that.
Yeah. Okay, so why don't we start with the creatine?
Dun, 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 dun.
So if you've worked with me, the creatine was definitely one of the things that I recommended to you. I don't care how old you are, how young you are, how much...
Jen, Edgar.
How much weight you're looking to lose, how toned you want to become, how not bulky you want to become. You need this, okay?
Why?
So
why?
For one, creatine is a natural product that our body produces. It is produced in the kidneys, however, not in a great enough quantity in order for us to really make a massive benefit for it. So for one, know that it is an
essential amount.
It is an essential product. That's why our body makes it, because we actually need it to function. However,
our body only makes what's absolutely essential.
Yes. However, creatine intake helps in multiple ways. For one, this is more of like newer research have shown that creatine does help with cognitive functioning. So I don't know about you guys, but our life is a byproduct of the decisions and the choices that we make. So, cognitive functioning, I think everybody can benefit from that. Aside from the fact that, let's be honest, okay, if you're looking for health and longevity, you need to do everything that you can in your power. Doesn't matter how young or old you are, or what your hereditary, background is. You need to, work on, building your metabolic storage. What is that? It's muscles, okay? If you want to have...
bone density and...
Yeah, look, if you want to have better results, no matter what age you are, if you want to look better, if you want to feel better, if you want to, slow down weight gain, as you get older, if you want to, slow down the aging process, you need muscle, okay? And creatine helps with muscle building and strength building. Do know that you're not going to look like a bodybuilder who stepped on stage who's been taking steroids for 5 years.
No, it actually
Nor will it make you bulky whatsoever. It will just help you to make the most of whatever you're doing with your training and nutrition in terms of muscle. So you need more muscle. You should want more muscle. It doesn't matter where you're at in your journey. And if you want long-term sustainability, creatine definitely helps with that. Increased muscle density, increased strength, increased cognitive functioning. We take this every single day. Like even when we travel, we brought a bag with us. So you need it. The second thing that if you've worked with me, or if you've worked with any of our coaches, you've probably been recommended this. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So the essential, that is basically like the holy grail of all things, longevity. This is actually the flagship product that started X Endurance. I'm gonna show you guys around real quick. This
Just
was the
be mindful of.
Yeah, maybe I can pull this out here.
Guys, I'm trying to find a photo of something, because one of these products here, I actually tested it when it first came out, and I took a photo of myself before I started taking it, and then 30 days later, I took it for 30 days, and then I took another photo of myself, and I was like, okay, well, how would this, for one, I'm always skeptical of products that claim they're going to help people lose weight.
But this is the flagship product, Extreme Endurance. And when did it first come out? I think like 2004. Oh, 2005.
You just brought it and took it away?
Well, because they can't see all of it.
All right.
But anyways.
Okay, so what I was saying was, I'm skeptical of products that say, hey, this is going to help you lose weight. So I was like, well, let me test it, because how can I talk about it if I don't? So I'm looking for a photo right now of my before and after, because I don't remember exactly when it was, but they came out with this product, which is the Lean Plus. And it's to help encourage fat loss, also helps with appetite control and all of that. And I thought to myself, how would this work on somebody who's already relatively fit without changing anything else that I'm doing, my workouts or food or anything like that? Will it do something? And so I will find this photo and I will share it with you guys.
In the meantime, so let's talk about this. The essential. So that is the flagship product. I'm just going to read from the pamphlet because you guys could only see some of it. The benefits: 15% reduction in lactic acid, double-digit increase in aerobic threshold, speed recovery, reduce muscle soreness, stop muscle burn. So at first it was made for athletes, okay? And that's why you see this Olympic flag. Jesse Owens, he was a part of the bobsled team that the founder of this company was. And they, it was created for Olympic athletes. It is a clean product that really helps with performance. However, over time, because every product is clinically tested, studies have shown that it actually helps to reduce the buildup of free radical buildup in your cells. Okay, so basically, if you want to live longer, if you want to be healthier, you want to reduce the buildup of free radicals in your body.
A free radical.
Inflammation.
A free radical is one cell that is unstable that kills two cells to make itself stable. So two die per every one to make itself.
So basically, free radicals, that's what causes inflammation. That's what causes chronic disease. Okay? AKA, you want to live longer, you should take that. This is something that we take every morning.
It's very much like an anti-aging. It's genius.
Yeah, so we take this every morning and every night, and this is one of the things that you should be taking every single day as well. These three are really based on your preference. I call these more of like lifestyle supplements. Erin's still looking for the before and afters for the lean. This, will give you an extra boost to your metabolism and therefore could have a direct impact on your weight loss. The focus that, it gives you clean energy, okay? More energy to do more of what you need to do, and therefore if you're going to become more consistent with doing your workouts or, with doing what you need, like, with meal prepping and doing those activities that will really help you to, build up your metabolism, then it does have an indirect impact. And same with this, right? Like the adaptogens that are used in the coffee has an indirect impact as well.
Do you guys ever look through your photos and then you think like, wow, there's so many photos that I remember being taken, but I totally didn't remember I had them? It's happening to me.
Do you still want to look? So basically, look, this is X Endurance's like weight loss supplement. I hate saying weight loss supplement because
Sounds like it's not
weight loss
believable.
supplements are just like horse shit. But basically, this helps, with your this specific product was designed to, boost your metabolic health. Let's just put it that way. Okay, so
Good way to put it.
the main ingredient here is called Forceline, and basically it helps to promote lean muscle mass, and the more lean muscle mass you have, the better your metabolism is. Okay, so it's a great agent for metabolic health, this thing. Green tea extract, caffeine, right? Clean caffeine. Chromium picolinate helps to reduce carb cravings and control blood sugar levels. And then white kidney bean extract helps to act as a natural carb blocker. Okay, so basically it helps with, the regulation of your insulin in your body, and it helps to promote your metabolism. So I will call it a metabolic agent. I will definitely keep it off the weight loss supplement category because those are
A metabolic agent.
a metabolic agent.
Wow. It's like you have your own agent for your metabolism.
Yeah, it helps you with your metabolism. That's really all it is. And Erin actually did a test for 30 days, and that's what she's looking for.
I really want to find it for you guys because I don't know if impressed is the right word, but the results that I got were unexpected, I guess, is, man, I really
Yeah.
wanna-
Anyways,
I'm invested.
let's
I'm invested.
let's
in
see
this.
let's see if you guys said anything. And by the way, I know a lot of you guys are already taking the supplements because we just talk about it all the time. What we recommend for anybody who has not yet tried the product is, use the link that Erin added above, and your first purchase, I think you can get 25% off.
15.
Oh, 15.
They changed it.
15% off. And then if you know that you like the product, we would just recommend that you get on Team XND. I think a lot of you guys...
Oh, there is some... I found it. There are some benefits that Thor was telling us about the other day. I was like, oh, I didn't even know. Team XND is essentially their membership. It's kind of like the Amazon Prime for X Endurance, where you pay $95 for the year, and then you get 25% off all the supplements. And then there's some other bonuses. I think when you sign up, you get a $50 gift card that you can use afterwards for your next order and stuff like that. So when you do sign up, you can choose to do the membership, but not like sell it. It is a network marketing company. And the only difference is like you wouldn't enter your social security number because for tax reasons you wouldn't need it, but you would get the benefits of everything else, the discounts, the free shipping in the US and all that. Okay, I found the photo, guys. Where's the front? Oh, here's the front. That's good, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't change anything. I didn't change my nutrition. I didn't change my workouts, any of it.
30 days.
30 days. I just took the supplement. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You see that?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
You're so pretty.
Are you admiring?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there.
So anyways, maybe I'll screenshot these and then I can post them or something like that. Anyways, it was effective.
All right, you guys, we hope you found lots of value in today's conversation. It was great to have you guys here. We are actually about to go and get our workout on and get our groove on before we head back home today. And what else? What else? It's
Thanks for being here with us.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. And it is Labor Day weekend. You guys,
Keep an eye on your emails.
which means that for most people,
Open our emails.
this is the weekend where most people start giving up for the year, if they've made it this far in the year, because it's basically the start of the fall season, aka pumpkin spice latte, aka apple cider donuts, aka wine, aka I'm gonna live in my sweat. So what's the point? I'll start again next year. You guys,
This is the one I was referring to.
in the ENS Army, we are going for a 365 fit, healthy, long life. So we hope for you guys that you make it a point to make better than choices this weekend so that you can roll into next week with momentum while the rest of the world has given up on themselves. Don't let that be you. In the meantime, you guys, you go be great. Have yourselves a beautiful weekend. And we will see you guys, if you're in our programs, at some point next week. If not, next week on Espresso. Oh, actually, next week we do not have Espresso.
No espresso.
Okay.
But we'll
We'll catch
catch
you on the flip side.
Bye, guys.
Take care.